Hey, how's it going out there, folks? Welcome back here to a Friday night, about 10:21 p.m. here, California time. October 4th, 2024 is the date. Latest activity shows some movement here in California, Southern California there specifically. Got a couple earthquakes here lighting up in the last hour. They're in the red circle. A couple red circles out here. Nothing big going on there for now. As far as 2.5 and above goes, well, one earthquake today above that threshold near Little Creek, California, just around the San Andreas Fault, the southern segment there. Aside from that, just general small microquake activity out here across California today. Looks like a little earthquake activity north of Truckee here with a 1.5 and a little 2.8 underneath Lake Almanor this morning. Notice up here, got a little earthquake on the Cascadia subduction zone. We've seen something similar to that up here couple days ago. See if I can bring that back up here. One earthquake down south and one up here along the Cascadia, kind of in between, or I should say on the sides of where we've been seeing a lot of tremor activity. Let me show you guys the tremor map here tonight. We'll check out this one. We'll get to space weather here in a little bit. I know a lot of folks wanting to see the auroras tonight and next couple nights, so we'll take a look at the forecast here. Tremor activity across the central coast of Oregon, a little bit into northern California as well. That's adding the strain upstream here. Been fairly consistent here with tremor over the last, I don't think it's been a month. It looks like about the 21st of last month there we've seen approximately 3,781 epicenters of tremor. Pretty significant amount, mainly across the area of the central coast of Oregon. Now that is adding strain across the locked area. A couple earthquakes there around the locked area today, or yesterday and today. Nothing big, but just goes to show you there that the stress is building up across the Cascadia. And of course that area is capable of producing a a little bit greater than 9.0 upon full rupture. Pacific Northwest, relatively quiet. Some older quake activity throughout the day today. Most of this movement here in a little swarm around the desert air area. Now, let's see here. That's away from the... Actually, it's in the same region there where we've witnessed a little bit of swarming out there in the last couple weeks, I should say, in the last 30 days. Almost 200 earthquakes out there across this area of Washington. Nothing big, just a swarm of earthquakes, and really nothing bigger going on. I'm just kind of curious as to what's going on out here. There's a couple different fault systems here and some hazardous waste landfills out here. I guess this is where they store a lot of the the hazardous stuff, so I don't know if it's got anything to do with that or not. Probably not, but a little bit of earthquake activity out there today. Yellowstone, a couple smaller earthquakes. We will give a quick glance here at the Yellowstone overview there across the park. Wind events from earlier. A lot of wind out there. That's not magma. That's a lot of wind. We already checked that out this morning when it started up. When I did the update earlier this afternoon, I should say. We've seen a lot of wind coming in, and that's exactly what it is across the entire park there. It looks like it's still going. So just for verification purposes, let's check it out. Double check here as we go to the windy map. I love this map. It's actually a really cool app here. Many different features that you can use. Wind gust. Wow. Yeah, I would say so. Goodness. Look at around northwestern Yellowstone area. Or northwestern Wyoming here, a gust around the area around 55 miles per hour. So that's why it's shown up so significantly across the majority of the park out here. Something going on up north here. Of course, we got the fall pattern coming up. Hopefully things change out here. I need some cooler weather. I'm over this heat. All right, earthquake activity for the rest of the country, as you can see, fairly minimal. Typical movement going on there across Texas. In the oil fields. In the Gulf of Honduras here, a little 4.1. That's west of the Cayman Islands here. Nothing big. Just a couple smaller quakes there. Same for the Middle America Trench area. Now, there is an earthquake up here off the coast of Canada. EMSC is reporting that as a 4.1. I'd like to pay attention to what goes on up here across this area. It's the northern end of the Cascadia, I believe. Let's go check it out from the Canada earthquakes map here. See what's up as we check this out here. Here's one of the latest earthquakes, 4.1. Well, northwest of Port Hardy, BC area, 10 kilometers deep for that quake. And if we put on the plate boundaries out here, you'll see that it's at the extreme northern end of the Cascadia subduction zone, where there's been some earthquake activity out there. Most of that, I believe, is in the last couple weeks or so, or actually last month there, the yellow quakes and indicating some older movement. But 4.1 stirring up out there today. Nothing being reported, though, by the USGS here. As far as anything else going on across the globe, swarm up there across the Jan Mayen area calming down a little bit. Well, pretty decent amount of swarming going on up there earlier today, but looks like things are calming down for now. Nothing major going on out here. Some deeper quakes across Japan area. That's on the eastern side here of that subduction zone, so might want to watch that. And typical clustering there across the Indonesia Islands area. And super deep earthquake underneath North Island, New Zealand. Goodness, look at that, 3.8. 544 kilometers. Wow. That looks like it's associated there with the southern end of the Kermadec Trench. All right, let's check out space weather, see if we got anything ramping up here for the aurora potential. Here's the chart that I'm looking for. Nothing going on for the KP index. The aurora forecast fairly quiet. Let's check out the real-time solar wind stream here. And this data gives us a good idea of arrival of protons and the density and the speed of the plasma cloud here, but I see right now I see no signs of it, so I'm not for sure what happened to those CMEs there. I don't know if they just disappeared into a different area of space or what, but man, they had forecasted a G3 storm last night and G3 tonight and nothing. So what's going on here? I mean, there's obviously, percentages and possibilities that a forecast may not play out, but goodness. So I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I'm not going to stay up all night for this. Maybe tomorrow I'll check it out here. This is for Saturday night. KP index up around 7, G3 class storm. So we'll know when this one comes in. That's the plasma cloud, the CME from the large X 9.1 that we've seen here recently. The strongest solar flare, or an X 9.0, excuse me. It's like an X 9.05 or something. But that one did shoot off a fairly massive CME, or directed, and if that one misses us, goodness, I don't know what to say then. But it looks as though potentially it should have hit us by now in terms of the first CME, but I'm thinking it may have missed the planet entirely. So we'll have to wait, see what happens overnight, but nothing showing up here for right now. Flaring activity elevated. We got 35% chance for X flare, M flare at 75, C flare around 99% chance or so, but it's actually been pretty quiet there since that large X flare. A number of sunspots currently facing the Earth, although they are starting to drift further and further off here to the western limb of the sun. So we have this area up here we got to watch, and a newer sunspot region out on the eastern limb here that will be rotating into view, Earth-directed view here in the coming days. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens with the auroras here. Like I say, I'm not going to stay up all night. I'm a little tired because some stuff got to do somewhat early in the morning. So we'll check it out tomorrow, though. Looks like the most likelihood of seeing the auroras are going to be tomorrow. Tropical systems here. Let's check out the latest model run in terms of tropical development down here in the Gulf of Mexico. Earlier this morning, models were showing what looks like a hurricane, and this model is showing what looks like a rather strong hurricane hitting the Florida area as we head towards the middle of next week. Now, last couple model runs here have been consistent with some type of tropical system here forming. Past few days or so, it's showed nothing. It basically showed just an unorganized area of moisture down here. But the models are picking up on development, and is potentially could be a rather strong system hitting Florida. So let's go over to the tropical tidbits page here and check out. There's Kirk. We're not really worried about that. Let's see here. So here is the, I guess it's called, what is this? Invest 92L right now. It's just a kind of like a tropical wave out there of thunderstorm activity. And this is the one that looks like it's going to form here next week and hit the Florida area. Now the tracks are fairly consistent with an eastward movement after development hitting the Florida area. Model guidance right now it doesn't show a lot, but the GFS model is picking up on what looks like a rather strong hurricane. So we're going to have to watch that. Because that's the last thing these guys need is a bunch of rainfall down there. Goodness. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll be checking back on that here over the next few days or so. Aside from that, folks, I am going to call it a night. California lighting up slightly out here, but really nothing big going on out here for now. But again, this could change in the blink of an eye. Got to watch this here. We'll catch you guys back out here in the morning, Saturday morning update. We'll catch you guys back then. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe out there.